Welcome to Reddit Stories Cookie Edition. The best cheating videos on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, be sure to subscribe and turn on notification. Now let's get into the video. I cheated on a wonderful man and guilt is eating me alive. How do I tell my husband about my two-night stand? I, 31F, had a two-night stand when I was away on a work trip in November. I met my husband, 30M, 5 years ago and we have been married for 3 years. My husband is Indian and I am Caucasian. We met when we were both students in the university. For the past few months last year he had been really busy with a project he had been working on. So I was not getting the attention like I am used to from him and the sex was infrequent. In November, I had a work trip for a week where one of my colleagues from a branch in another city was constantly hitting on me. So the last 2 nights of the trip I grew weak and gave in. To be clear, I am not attracted to this guy at all. It was just he caught me at a moment of weakness. I realized what I had done on the return trip and decided not to tell anyone. I thought no harm, no foul, right? And I was okay with it. But in December, I had a minor accident. I fell down the stairs, and there was a minor fracture in my arm due to that. After that he took extremely good care of me. Even though I recovered pretty quickly, I was not allowed to do any household chores till the end of January. He took responsibility for all household chores. During that time, the guilt started to creep in with thoughts like if he knew what I had done then he wouldn't be here. But still I decided to manage this guilt. Then at the end of January he got promoted for his work in the project. We had a small celebratory party at a restaurant with some of our friends. Our friends wanted to know how we met. He was telling the entire story about how I asked him to let me buy him a drink on a dare, how he doesn't drink and was just at the bar with his friends. So when he was telling the story, I noticed the shine in his eyes, the way he was looking at me and the pride he has in me. It felt like I was going to explode from the guilt. Now, he has started talking about having kids and starting a family. As much as I would like that, I have decided to tell him everything that happened before having kids. I am really scared that he is going to leave me. The probability of a divorce is high. He is a highly moral and principled man. I will be telling him after this Valentine's weekend. One time he told me that he wants to experience some things. So this Valentine's weekend I am going to realize his fantasy. I am going to go full-on Christian Grey on him. I have thought about every dirty thing I am going to say to him. The next 3 days are going to be all about him. I hope that he remembers this after I tell him the truth and believes me when I tell him how much I love him and that he is the most important person to me in this world. I hope he gives me a second chance so that I can prove to him every day for the rest of our lives how much he means to me. I just don't know how to tell him so that the chances of his staying increases. Please help me. Update, I am still not able to tell him. This is an update from my last post. Sorry, but I couldn't find the time to make an update post. Right now he is asleep in our bed. Our Valentine's weekend was amazing. Like I mentioned in my previous post that I was planning on surprising him with new experience. He loved the surprise and enjoyed it. The only thing is I thought the sex would be rough, but unconsciously it transitioned into sensual sex. I went from "you have been a very bad boy" to "I love you so much." There was an event where I was on top and he was looking at me in a loving way, and when our eyes locked it was like we exchanged 1,000 words without uttering a single word. He was cuffed to our bed and my hand were all over him. I feel like I love him more right now than I loved him on our wedding day. Whenever I decided to tell him, my fear of losing him trumped the need, to be honest. It's like my brain and my mind are at war with each other. I have started seeing a therapist since last month. I haven't told him about me seeing a therapist as it would involve him telling about my emotional turmoil. Right now he thinks that I am sad or depressed about something and he is trying his best to make me laugh. He pulled a prank on me last month and just a few days ago he made me laugh by tickling me till my stomach hurt. My therapist suggested that we could invite him for a session together and then I can be honest to him in front of a professional, but I am still not down with it. I analyzed why I was unfaithful to him. It was like I was mentally unconscious during that time. Because of him being busy he could not give me the attention I thought I was entitled to. I have heard about couples losing passion for each other and I thought it was the beginning of this period for me. Hence, I acted out by being unfaithful to him. It did not matter that I did not find him attractive, but he was giving me the attention that I craved. Some people messaged me the truth will do no good other than hurt him. But he is different that way. He does not get hurt easily and he is always honest no matter how brutal. He is a very self-confident man and very conscious of his actions and emotions. When we started dating he was honest that he is not only a virgin but that he has never kissed a girl. I am his first and only girlfriend. This was new for me. So, honesty is the foundation of our relationship. I don't want to be honest just to alleviate my guilt but to preserve the foundation of our relationship. Even though he will be able to manage his hurt, he will surely be disappointed and will divorce me. I don't want him to leave me, but at the same time I want to preserve the foundation of our relationship. This is what I am worried about. I don't want to lose the best thing that has happened to me over some poor decision I made. I am torn right now between these two choices. The only thing I am sure of is that I love him a lot. Story 2. Fixing physically abusive relationship. Me and my BF have been together for 3 years, are both 31 in a LDR. The first year was amazing and we had an instant connection. I was unsure about him at points, but he told me he wasn't letting me go and that I'm his future, etc. I was very toxic for him about a year and for 2 years. I would start weekly arguments over petty things when everything was going well. This grated on him and a few times he tried to leave. I became very insecure with retroactive jealousy and needed constant reassurance that I was better than his ex. I then thought he fancied one of his female friends because he liked her IG pictures and demanded he unfollow her, which he did. In the beginning he always reassured me that no one came close to me and that he's never felt this way before. But it wasn't enough for me. He got tired of being gentle with me and, after I had been verbally abusive for about a year, he started doing the same back. My close family member died earlier this year. He came up to cheer me up. Weeks later I took everything out on him and we went on a break. So I look back on this as him not being there for me but sort of realizing that I was probably at fault. It was also really hard through COVID lockdowns not being able to see him, and that intensified my insecurities. We had planned to get married 2 years in. However, I delayed it because I felt we weren't ready and I wanted a proper proposal. It was difficult due to lockdowns not being able to go anywhere nice. He booked Paris earlier this year, COVID cancelled it. He rebooked for summer, COVID cancelled it again, and now his plans are on hold, I think, until next month. I have nagged him about the proposal, saying I don't feel he's committed to me. He tells me that a ring/proposal does not equal commitment in his eyes and that he is very committed to me. He says it's just as easy for him to leave after a proposal as it is now and that it won't change anything. He has told me that the reason for the delay is that he wanted it special, abroad, but COVID didn't allow that, and also my behavior hasn't been great. It made me feel like SHT, like I'm unwanted. Then physical violence started. I hit him on 3 occasions, and he then grabbed my arms and squeezed them tightly on one occasion, and pulled my hair, so my head went back and forth 3 times. On another, after the day that he pulled my hair I was in complete shock. I read up on it and now know it is reactive abuse. I know my BF isn't naturally abusive, has never done that before, and would probably never do it to anyone else. But I pushed him to it. Everyone kept telling me it's probably done between us two, and my BF kept saying we weren't meant to be either. But I wasn't strong enough to end it, and I realized how much I loved him, although he kept telling me that's not love as I never showed it. We both decided to seek therapy. I realized I am messed up and quite narcissistic. I expect everything TPV done to slash for me and am very self-centered. He's always told me that I don't do enough for us. Very true, as he does a lot, weekend trips, always calling me, and he often felt I was a random body that showed no love, that he got more from his work colleagues. So I decided to work on this and booked a trip, and started baking for him again. I used to do this in the early days. He really appreciated all of this and he also continued with his trips. I also went out of my way to do other things for him, including words of affection, little unexpected treats, and just generally being a good partner. I think the main thing was being aware of not starting petty arguments. It's been a few months and the relationship is a lot better. It actually feels like a relationship. This is all good and well, but in the back of my head I kind of wonder whether it's suddenly too good to be true. People often say it's very hard to reverse abusive behavior. I'm just wondering whether it's possible that the abuse may creep up again, or if, actually, we might be onto something good. Were we right to continue the relationship?